BritneyJenkins, and I'm from Clearwater, Florida.
Have you ever been a surrogate before?
Nope, this is the first time.
So what made you decide that you want to be a surrogate for a couple who struggles and are having a hard time having a child?
My aunt, she deals with infertility. She's been through 3 miscarriages, 2 failed IVFs, and she lost both of her fallopian tubes due to ectopic pregnancies. So I know how much, it would mean to her to have a child. So for about 10 years now, I've wanted to be a surrogate mother. Just needed to find the right time and the right family.
What are your values and what are your feelings about the surrogacy in general?
I think it's amazing. I think that it's absolutely, so far it's been, an amazing journey for me. It's been wonderful to meet different IPs and hear their stories and see the success stories. And truly I want to be a part of that. I want to, to be able, to do 1 or 2 surrogacies.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about your family.
I have 3 children. I have 2 daughters, 8 and 5, and a son who's 5. They are all in school. Stay-at-home mom. I take care of them. I clean, take care of them. I have a partner. He's very supportive of this. My children are supportive and excited for me to do this.
Describe your relationship with your partner.
We have a great relationship. She's my partner. She's my friend. We have great communication. We do a lot of things as a family. We're each other's friends. I'm always together, pretty much.
Great. Does she have any reservations about any potential legal relinquishment of any parentage rights after birth?
No. We've discussed the risk, and she's fully aware of them, and she has no issues.
Obviously, when you're being pregnant, sometimes the feelings can be overwhelming. What type of support between your partner and your family? How do you feel it is? And let us know how they'll support you in pregnancy.
My mother, I have all of my family is actually close to me. They all support my surrogacy journey that I'm starting. And they fully are aware of the feet rubs, the belly rubs, the special cooking, and helping me with my children. So they're all 100% supportive and, like I said, fully aware of the roles they play.
Great. You may have experienced maternal feelings during your previous pregnancies. If you have these feelings as a surrogate, how do you feel that you can deal with them?
I think starting out knowing, that's why I chose a gestational carrier, knowing that it's biologically not my child. I think for the pregnancy, just making sure that I remember why I'm doing this, and bonding more with my family, the IPs, and their story, versus bonding with the child, and having them as much of a part of the pregnancy as they can be.
Now, you were pregnant before.
Mm-hmm.
How were those pregnancies?
They were all full term, no complications, live births. They're so good and kicking. They were great. There were no issues during the pregnancy or the delivery.
How do you, on a day-to-day basis, how do you take care of yourself and how do you live health-wise? Healthy eating, exercise, anything like that?
I do exercise twice a week. I go to the gym. I have a partner that I walk with once a week. We eat fairly healthy. We don't eat out. We cook at home.
During your last pregnancy, what was your typical diet?
I eat healthy. I would splurge and have some ice cream every now and then, or some special cooking. But for the most part, I ate fairly healthy. Yes.
There are other things that happen. Like sometimes you end up having any of these other feelings that people have during pregnancy, morning sickness or anything like that. Did you have any of that?
I did. I had morning sickness with all 3 of them.
And how did you deal with it?
I was sick. It was only in the morning. It only lasted for a little while, and I just made sure I planned my day around my morning sickness.
And do you have support for when you're feeling this way and trying to help you through this too?
Yes. My mom, she's also a stay-at-home mom, so she's prepared to help me with what I need if I am sick and there's something that has to happen with the kids, as well as my partner.
And as you know, in the process, more than one embryo is transferred many times. How do you feel about carrying more than one child?
I'm triplets, a little wary of, but twins would be okay.
Now, how would you feel about having a fetal reduction or abortion if the couple doesn't want more than one child?
That choice would be left up to the parents and the doctor.
Okay. Are you willing to work with the surrogate agency, the doctors, your OB-GYN, to take whatever necessary tests and screenings there are, and if necessary, travel out of state to have the visits that are required?
Yes.
Okay. Are you also willing to provide what other health information to whoever may need it, whether it's through the staff at ULane or the other doctors who are caring for you?
Yes.
What type of expectations do you have about a relationship with the couple after birth or with the child? Would you expect Christmas cards, photos, or do you desire to have any contact afterwards?
After the birth of the child, I think that the communication is something that you build during the pregnancy, and it really is left up to the parents what they're comfortable with. I have, honestly, don't have any expectations, but it would be nice to know how they are, a year later or so, but mainly it would be what they were comfortable with.
Okay. Now, abortion isn't generally allowed under the SAP Terms of Services, and the intended parents are aware of all the times when this can and cannot happen. But if the couple were to become divorced, or one or both of them were to die, how would you feel about accepting an abortion?
That would be up to the IPs. I would be fine.
If you didn't have an abortion, how would you feel about adopting the child through an agreement?
I think that would be an option, but it would be something that would have to be, I guess, dealt with at that time.
Okay. In the case that the newborn is found to have defects, diseases, disabilities to some degree, how do you feel about having an abortion in those circumstances?
I would support what the IPs and the doctor decided.
Now, even though the agreement would be for any child born for the IP to take the child, if they, for some reason, they didn't, how would you feel about abortion or adoption at that time?
Like before, it would have to be something that I would be open to it, but it would be a discussion between me and my family to make sure that we all supported it.
In some instances, the embryos are over in China. Would you be willing to travel to China to have the transfer happen, knowing that all the other medical testing's been done in the States?
Yes.
Are you comfortable with breastfeeding the newborn baby?
Yes.
Are you willing to work exclusively with ULane for at least 12 months?
Yes.
If by chance the implantation or the transfer fails, are you willing to start with your next cycle?
Yes.
Would you rather just start right away, or
I would rather start right away if the doctor follows.
Yes, obviously, permitting doctor's permission and everything. Are you comfortable asking for written results from your OB-GYN after each visit?
Yes.
And would you be willing to fax or scan those off to the IPs or to someone to forward them on to the IPs?
Sure. Yes.
Is there anything else that you'd like to tell any intended parents that are looking at this about you?
I'm looking to make this journey for them just as wonderful for them as I do want to make it for myself. It's been something that I've wanted to do for a very, very long time, and I've made sure I've taken the appropriate time and steps to prepare myself for it. And I just, I want to give them the gift of life, honestly, the opportunity to have a family. So.